Yeah, when you say shit, I'm just like, yeah, okay. Whatever.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Welcome back to Rap With Us. I am again Des, aka Desiree Steeze, and today we have.
Thomas who?
I think I'm gonna let people introduce themselves, but I also like to call you aka No Bad Bars.
Yes.
Because I haven't heard one yet.
Wow. Thank you.
And I brought you on the show because I feel like I have a special bond with you. You have been wanting me to know who you were when you first came to Oklahoma City, and I really appreciate that. And I appreciate your music.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you considering me all the time, whether it be your music or just me being a woman around.
For sure.
But I want you to tell the story of how we formally met.
So I believe it was Art of Rap.
Mm-hmm.
And I had won. And everybody, like Conway was telling me crazy, like if you don't get with nobody else in the city, get with Desiree Steeze.
So it was Conway?
It was Conway.
Okay, shout out to Conway.
And so super shout out to Conway, huge shout out to Conway. So he basically had been kind of planting that in my ear just periodically. Every time I see him, every time I come to a Heart of Hip Hop or whatever the case may be. And so I did that, and then I saw you afterwards, and your personality is not only magnetic, it's huge, it's big, it's you know what I'm saying.
Pretty big.
It's a vibe, right? So
I've had a lot of people tell me I should be on a reality TV show.
For sure, without question, without question. So I fuck with that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that that's amazing. I understand presence and the importance of presence.
I think it's a lot of, I don't know if you believe in Zodiac, but Leos have a big presence.
Okay.
And it's a thing.
Okay. So I fucked with it and I introduced myself and basically
you won Art of Rap at Hubbly.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like somebody told you what the prize was before you performed.
They did. So I made sure I was focused.
And so you made sure that you won.
You know what I'm saying?
And what's funny is there were people in the competition that I'm not too cool with. So we gonna just say that. And I said, if they win, I'm not helping. I'm not helping them.
I'm not offering any services.
Yeah, take the services out.
Right.
So I'm happy that you won as well.
Absolutely. And you linked with me then, and I invited you to Christian's shop.
And we listened to Splash. So how long have you been working on that project?
Splash took me maybe a month to create top to bottom, and it was just going through the production and kind of figuring out who I was as an artist at that time. And
you had changed, because I feel like your music is getting realer every time you get on the mic.
Right. That's a direct result of my children getting older.
Okay.
I had children when I was a teenager.
Okay.
And it's not that I try to hide my truth from them, but you have to guard your children in some regard.
Until they're ready.
And now that they're becoming teenagers and they're asking more pressing questions, and they see, we're out at the mall and they'll see niggas with tattoos all over their face, you know what I'm saying, showing me love. And they're starting to ask, like,
what's going on?
Why do you have these relationships and yada, yada, yada. And so the older they get, the more I can tell them about who their father is and what their father had to do in order to make this positive change. And that's allowed me to kind of be more vocal in my music about, situations in my life.
I've heard you say multiple times that this situation, you creating music, has saved your life.
For sure.
And I want people who watch this to understand, like, we're Black. So culturally, there are things that are widely acceptable amongst Black culture. And then there's like real ass Black culture.
Right.
So I want you to talk about that a little bit in a way where everybody can understand, but keep it real for real.
Sure. So, my mother felt the best way to save me would be to give me an education, right? So I grew up in an impoverished area in my adolescence on the north side of Oklahoma City, and it's a whole bunch of wild shit going on there. And my mother is driving me 35 minutes to Edmond every day to put me in school. And
that's
so,
a mother's love right there.
Right. So she's like mad sacrifices, you know what I'm saying? So I go there, I get this affinity for English, and this is the reason why. The ability to convey a message is what moves the needle of anything. Wars are not, started with gunshots. They're started with words, and they're not ended with gunshots. They're ended with words. There's an art of communication, like language arts meant some shit to me. And so getting this higher education and kind of learning, like, what words have the ability to do, I grew an affinity for it. Now, I would go to this school and then I'd come back home and I'm fighting niggas. Why do you talk like that? What the fuck is an enunciate? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of shit that I'm having to battle and deal with.
I've dealt the same thing,
you know what
so
I'm saying?
I understand. Why do you talk white?
Right.
Why?
And and I'm like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I never understood what that's about. But so I would defend myself constantly, and it kind of created, amongst a lot of other things, it kind of created this animosity inside of me to where it was like going through an identity crisis. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I hard enough to be black? You know what I'm saying? And accept it that way. And I started acting out in that way. And the only way that I could effectively communicate ever was via writing in some capacity, whether it be poetry or my inception story. Shout out to my nigga D-Lo. He called me out in middle school and kind of introduced me to rap in that way. And seeing that reaction, seeing the impact that your words can have on your peers, feeling as though you have become good at something. That's something that planted a seed inside of me. So when I would start being reckless within my life and a lot of situations that I put myself in that shouldn't allow me to be on the couch talking to you right now, the only way I was able to kind of rein all that in and kind of deal with that is to communicate it via music. And that's why I feel as though it pulled me out of a state of like not being this wild ass recluse, because I know that seems like weird, but I was a wild ass recluse. Like, when I was in college, when I was out in Tulsa, like, I had a full ride scholarship, but I'm selling drugs. Crazy, right? So when I go into the strip club, it's like the dope boy going into the strip club, except I'm pulling bands and throwing money out of fucking sweatpants. You know what I'm saying?
Doing very dangerous things.
Doing very dangerous, reckless, wild, reckless shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, going through that experience, like, it got to a point where I was putting my life on the line so constantly. I'll never forget, there was an instance where I went and ran a pack for one of my big homies. I've done this 1,000 times, ran the same route 1,000 times. Dude tell me to sit down, no problem. I know this nigga. Sit down, he tries the pack. He's like, you trying to fuck with me? Pulls a strap on me. I'm talking about this as close as I am, as close as we are together.
Yeah.
Points it and he clicks it. That motherfucker don't let go. So he drops the slide, and that's kind of when I come back to. When I hear that slide drop and he slams it back in the clip, I tee off on this nigga. I'm beating this nigga till he's done moving. I'm going through this wild shit. Like, these niggas know who I am. They know where I go to school. When none of that shit came back to get me, when I didn't receive the karma from that part, it put into me this attitude of appreciation of life. Kind of changed my perspective. And then it told me, instead of being this wild ass, reckless ass, recluse nigga that's really to yourself but mad flamboyant, so people like you and they accept you, why don't you start writing your story? And so, like, when I hear some shit from Freddie Gibbs where he says,
and it don't get no realer. God
made me sell crack so I have something to rap about. Like, I get that. All of the violence, all of those experiences.
Maybe you experienced it to convey the message.
Exactly. Yeah. Because that streamlines from the whole getting your education, understanding language, then living through those experiences, and then finding a way to convey that in a manner in which people can relate to it. You know what I'm saying?
So you came to Oklahoma and you met all the amazing people that you needed to meet.
Yes.
How did that? You met Conway, you met View, you met me, you met all these great people that rap, that you love to rap with.
I believe that people are tribal, and I believe that tribes find each other. Those who are elite at what they do and in a craft,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna meet. They're gonna find each other. Like it's not a coincidence that
When people are vibrating the same
You know what I'm saying?
vibration, they kind of
when you and your homies start writing films, you know what I'm saying, and then you turn into Seth Rogen, like you know what I'm saying, and you still with your homies writing films, but it just cracked like that. Like they found each other, they were at this elite status, and they grew from there. And I never say that like I'm this amazing MC out of arrogance. Like I fucking work on my craft. You know what I'm saying?
How much are you writing a week?
That's not even. I don't even know.
I talked to KL when she said that she's writing like 3-4 songs a week.
Yeah, I couldn't even call it, because when we go to our studio sessions on Thursdays, sometimes I'm cranking out 5 songs then, like right then, Thursday. And so
you have a lot to say.
I have a lot to say. I have a lot to express. I'm still interested in growing as an artist, you know what I'm saying? Exploring sound. As you become older, you kind of have to find different vantages on how to figure where you fit within the culture. And I feel like the jazz musician of rap music, I'm gonna try shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna do the things that, you know, people may not understand or appreciate, but like I know is special in that moment. So when you talk about maybe how much I write a week, probably 10 records a week. They won't all see the light of day. They won't all make it out of my phone, but at least that.
Okay. So going back to Splash, where did you get the name from and the concept from?
So I've always been spiritually rooted, you know what I mean? And so I feel like, you know, the God I believe in is living water. And I feel like when you represent him well and you kind of live in this this consciousness of who he is, not perfection. I'm not perfect. I'm you know what I'm saying, but live within this aura of who he is. What you hope is that you're offering these droplets of living water as you go amongst your way. That the impact that you have on people can point back to the thing that I believe in and the thing that's rooted me. And so when I did Splash, that's what it was about. It was about trying to grab that concept sonically and throw it out to as many people as possible. Right.
I don't think I've ever asked you this, and I'm sure I won't be the last to ask you this. The name, Thomas Who? Why Who?
Shout out to my guy D1. I went by X1 for a long time.
So the rapper from Louisiana? Or is this a different D1?
This is a different D1. My nigga D1 out of Africa.
Okay.
He engineered me for several years when I was in Dallas. And I was going through this name change, and he said, bro, you need to present something that is who you are, but like creates this intrigue. He was like, Thomas, I'm like, Thomas who? He was like, yes. And it was that organic.
Okay.
And so when he did that, it kind of, with most art, it grows as it, you know, goes along. I feel like it gives any blogger, any person that's in the culture, any of my fans an opportunity to go like, he knew that he was this unknown entity. But like now when you talk about him, there's this like, when you say Thomas Who, like my fans will go, that's exactly who it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I get it.
That's the kind of
I've said it to people and they go,
right.
What?
Right.
His name is Thomas Who.
Right.
So yeah, I get that. So you were talking about tribes vibrating together, but how exactly did you get to the studio with View?
Okay, so this is a shout out to Tony Foster Jr.
Shout out to Tony Foster.
When View was initially doing curriculum of the mind for his dissertation.
Yes, TSP.
Tony threw my name in the mix. He was like, I know a dude that fits within your criteria. He's an artist. He went to a predominantly white institution. Shout out to the University of Tulsa. And, you know, he has,
I understand.
He has these, you know, these qualities that you're looking for as far as this project. And the very first conversation I had with View, it was just like, this nigga gets it. You know what I'm saying? Like it made me put all of my hesitation or defenses regarding a new interaction with somebody down.
I feel like when I talk to View, there's like a way you talk with people, and then there's a few people that you talk to on like a different level
Yes,
where
ma'am.
if a normal person was listening to you, it wouldn't make any sense. Like
Right.
the conversation, it's like some higher level. We only gonna say a couple of words, but we
Right.
know what we mean.
Right,
We
right.
all know what we mean.
Right.
So I get that.
Yeah, yeah.
When I
So-
talk to him, it's like, like I go through a range of emotions.
Yes.
And he lets me go through them. But
And that's the thing, man. Like, it was just a very like welcoming energy, very like kill your ego kind of a vibe.
Mhm.
And like I learned from that. Like, View is younger than me, but I learned from that. Like, he's been the one that challenged me to,
He's old man
dead your
inside.
ego. Yeah,
Facts.
for sure, for shit show. So that's how we initially got linked up, and we've been vibing ever since. Like, not only do I fuck with him musically, I just fuck with him as an individual. Like, that's
Yeah,
my
he's
brother.
great.
You know what I'm saying? So
He's super.
that's
he's
how
amazing.
that kind of came together.
I saw recently that you are doing a weekly song.
hmm
I know two other people that have done that.
hmm
Have you reached out to anybody before you started?
So I spoke with Jacoby first.
Okay.
That's where I saw it. And so I couldn't do it on his level. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He definitely put
nigga-
out a song and a video for
and
a week.
a
every week of the year.
podcast every week of the year.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is insane.
for the whole year.
And I saw that. I know how important balance is in my life, as far as like, I'm not gonna be outside all the time. Like, I'm just not. You know what I'm saying?
You a daddy.
I'm a daddy for real. You know
You
what I'm
a
saying? I'm a
husband
husband
for
for real.
real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my wife. I love my children. And so like, I know how I can contribute. I know I don't have a problem working. I know I don't have a problem writing. I know I don't have a problem rapping. So when I saw him do that, I said, okay, what's the best way that I can remain relevant, prove that I rap better than niggas, make sure that I don't like fall off in any way, shape, or form, have a willingness to dead my ego and collaborate with people. What's the best way I could do that?
That's real.
And so,
Dead the ego.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can collaborate.
yeah.
I feel like TSP has opened up a lot of doors for you in
Sure.
order to collaborate. Though.
Sure.
Is there anybody that you want to do a song with you haven't?
I would like to do a song with Chris McCain.
It's lit. He loved doing songs. So
I know.
I think he might be in studio as much as you.
dig that. I know how important he is to this city, and I think
Mhm.
it's just important, me being a part of this scene, that we touch bases. But everybody I've been a fan of, I've had an opportunity to work with.
Okay.
There are a few cats out in Tulsa I would like to work with that I haven't, and that's just because we haven't caught the wave yet.
Mhm.
But outside of that, like, everybody I've wanted to work with, I've worked with thus far.
What have you learned since you've been doing the song a week? Because now we're in March. What have you learned about yourself in putting out a song? Because you don't just have to dead the ego with collaborate. You have to dead the ego with putting out a song.
Sure.
Because I feel like people put out songs, it's kind of like very personal.
Yes.
You putting out splashes very personal to you.
Yes.
So you have to do that every week.
It's fun for me. You
It
know what I
is.
mean? Like, I've gotten to a point to where I write so much. You know what I'm saying? I create so much. Going into this, I would think it would be like a purging feeling, but it really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
Mhm.
still hungry to do more. I still go to the studio every week, wanting to
You're
do
waiting for
something
that.
new, wanting to do something that, you know what I'm saying, it's become an addiction. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
That's a good addiction to have.
absolutely.
I feel like some
absolutely.
people can overwork themselves and then they stop.
Right.
But I guess you don't feel
I
that.
don't feel that, and it's like I've learned the quality of your yeses are your yeses and your no's are your no's, even to yourself. So when I need to tell me no, that's what the fuck I mean. Like, if I'm in overdrive, or if I feel as though my priorities are falling by the wayside, or any of that shit, I have no problem telling me no. I have no problem saying you're gonna sit down for 2 or 3 months. Like, so right now it's just the whole experience has been amazing. It's just been a good space to be in.
Nice. Have you made any rap goals? Like anything that you want to do that you have not done yet?
I want to rap for a living. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a big goal of mine. I want to leave my legacy in our city and on this culture.
Okay.
I look up to cats like, JB, who has gone very far with his career, but is also very in tune with the issues of the city in which he lives
And the people
and
in
the
the
people
city.
in the city. Like, I think that that's what I'm aspiring to do. That's what
Okay.
that's what I'm trying to learn.
I call that statue status. Like at the time I was helping Steph, he told me that he wanted a statue in his name, and he wasn't close to that, but he wanted that.
Right.
And I feel like he can have that. Like he's at a place in his life where I think he can get that.
Yeah.
So a statue in your name. Somewhere.
I just want to put my feet on the wood at you know what I'm saying, at the basketball games.
Facts.
Have my little E40 moments. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy. You know what I mean? That's it. Shit like that.
I feel like the pandemic has made us all check in with ourselves a lot, mentally, physically. And I feel like you've been changing your life around physically.
Yes.
Which I feel like physical wellness is mental wellness.
Yes, for sure.
So what changed in your life to made you want to start working out and eating better? And
so my nigga Skanes, which is here, shout out my nigga Skanes.
Shout out to you.
He was one of my big homies in high school.
Okay.
And he would always slide like little tidbits of like fitness health for years. Like he'd be like, song is dope, eat less meat. You know what I'm saying? Shit like this.
Facts.
So like,
I love that.
So like when I moved back, I shot postmortem the video in July, and he came in and he stood in the video, and he would keep going like, when you coming to work out?
I call them missionaries, and not in the sense that you're spreading the word of God, but you're just spreading a word. Like I feel like hip hop people want fans, they want people to listen to their music and come to their shows, and sometimes they don't come to their shows, you know, the first year you're doing stuff, but maybe the third year, but you don't give up, you know. If you believe in something, you're gonna preach whatever you got going on until, you know, people come around. So I feel like that's what that is for sure. Sure.
And so like he kept saying it, and even that day he got at me like 4 or 5 times. I said, fuck it, bro, I'm coming on Monday.
Okay.
So I come Monday, and this nigga say, jump rope for 5 minutes. I said, and then what? You know what I'm saying? Because like after I jump rope for these 5 minutes, like I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't doing shit else. Like I just jumped rope for 5 minutes. Like I've been sitting on the couch for a decade.
Jump roping is intense.
And so we go through that, and there were the things that kept me encouraged and like kept me going and shit like, first of all, he's a solid nigga that I respect. Everybody can't just talk to me any kind of way. Yeah. Like that could get ugly very fast. I'm very big on respect. And so, you know, he would push me and he would challenge me, but he would physically push me. Like we were running one day. This was probably my 4th day in, and he got me running hills and shit. And so I'm running up this hill and I got nothing left, and this nigga literally puts his hands on my back and pushes me.
You have something left.
You know what I'm saying?
Anybody who can go to the studio as much as you do, you have things left. You have will.
Yeah.
Because there are rappers who don't go to the studio. You know, are terrified of the studio, terrified to make a song.
For shit show.
So yeah.
So like he pushed me and just has held me accountable. Don't miss workouts. If I do miss workouts, make them up. What are you putting in your body? Are you drinking the stuff that you need to be drinking? Like all of this shit. And we're not even a year yet, and I'm down like 70 pounds.
You're down 70 pounds.
Yeah.
Physically, visually, but it sounds like there's other things going on too in your head. You're probably more clear.
Sure, absolutely.
Bars is probably nasty.
They are. It's going crazy. It's going pretty crazy up here.
Your mind's working probably a lot better.
Absolutely.
It's lubricated.
Absolutely. All of that. You know what I mean? I just feel better. You know what I'm saying? I communicate better.
And you enjoy probably waking up.
I bounce down the stairs. That's a story I always tell. You know what I'm saying? I used to get down the stairs on some clickety-clack type shit.
Rice Krispie
You know what I'm saying? All the dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like all the dumb shit. Knees hurting, ankles hurt, all the dumb shit. Alarm clock go off at 4:30. I throw my shoes on. I'm down the stairs. You know what I'm saying? That. So yeah, shit is lit on that end. So shout out to Gangs by Skangs, the entertainers training.
I love that. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And everything you're working on.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if you have any questions for me.
My questions for you are: do you feel as though people understand the importance of your role in our culture?
No. As long as eggplant rule the world, they never will. And honestly, I still meet people to this day that are like, I need somebody to design me a dress. And what's funny is I have a degree in fashion marketing. But I have decided that I did not like the way that people, especially women, consume clothing.
Okay.
Like I've had this shirt for like 15 years.
Okay.
So I got out of that game. Like, I'm not in that game no more. I'm in wholesaling and for my day job, but like rap wise, I've done a lot of things. I think that this show is going to show some of the things that I've done that a lot of people don't know about. So
okay, and not so much a question, but I do want to thank you for being open. I don't know what the opinion or I don't pay attention to that shit. The only Steeze that I know is the Steeze that I know. Yeah. And so I want to tell you, thank you for welcoming a dude into a scene that is bustling and didn't need me and supporting me and championing me. And I want to tell you that means a lot to me. It makes me feel as though the things that I'm doing regarding our culture are going about the right way. And so I just want to, on your platform, thank you for that, for being so welcoming. You
are very much appreciated, and no bad bars. So if you have no bad bars, then you can be a part of this too. It's like the Scuba Squad. But some of y'all got bad bars.
Right, right, indeed. And work harder.
I want to thank you for coming today, and
definitely.
I have me and Rich have other things in the works, so stay tuned.
Just let me know. I'm with whatever. I'm with whatever you with.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.